Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Growing Democrats. And Growing Democrats is going to be a platform where we can discuss religious, social, political matters in a very productive environment where we're respectful for each other. We're going to do so by our comments below. This platform is for us to get understanding through education and people's experiences. The objective is to not try to be living in an echo chamber. So one of the things that I wanted to begin discussing with everyone is actually the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine. And I think that it's a conflict that has been going on for thousands of years. It's been persistent for generation after generation, and to the point that it lays on my mind a lot. It is devastating. It has caused lives lost. It's a cycle of violence that weighs heavily on everyone's hearts. It just continues to be tragic events. It reminds us of the capacity of human beings' ability to inflict harm upon each other, and to see those consequences of actions, to see that those actions are explained or rationalized through religion is more even heartfelt. To have aggression, hostility in the absence of faith and core values of the religious belief is disconcerting. The notion that one's religious belief can serve and justify harming and killing each other is not God's actual teaching. When you go to Palestine and Israel, you have all three of the basic religions, and it's the only place you can actually see a bomb going on. It's unbelievable. Let's remember that everyone deserves dignity and respect and compassion, regardless of their backgrounds and beliefs. And we are all suffering to see Israelis and Palestinians go through this. We need to stand in solidarity with the oppressed and try to advocate for lasting peace. Remember that God's love knows no boundaries and that He loves all of us equally. If I'm black or white, I can't say that God loves me more than an American Indian or something. That's absolutely ridiculous. There's so much conflict and work that we need to do towards peace, because just for justice to prevail, I think in my readings and my teachings, they should go ahead and share the land with the Palestinians, because Palestinian has been tied to Israel for thousands of years, just as long as Israel been there. To tell an Arab to go back to an Arab country is equivalent to telling an African American to go back to Africa. There were many prophets. The bloodline is there. There are many prophets that slept with Arabs, Ethiopians, blacks. Some of those had to be with Jewish people. That there was always a union there. Solomon, the Song of Solomon, was to a Shulamite woman. I don't believe that that's Jewish. I'm not. Moses had a black wife. Joseph had an Arab wife. Esau had wives. Abraham had a Arab concubine. The Israeli shepherd boys were sleeping in the fields with these with different nationalities. Also, the invading territory from wars. There were rapes from both sides. From that, the Jewish religion has specific qualifications to be Jewish. You have to have a Jewish mother. If you weren't in that time, if you weren't Jewish, you were not Jewish. Okay, you were not accepted into a community. So communities had to be created, and these people have been there for thousands of years, equally in Israel. So I think that there is something as far as going ahead and sharing the land. Americans are in the crossfire. It is the poor Americans that are paying for this war. We're sending billions of dollars over there to Israel. The rich in America do not pay taxes. They love that they don't pay taxes. They will even say that they don't pay taxes, and will outwardly show that they don't pay taxes. Many billionaire corporations have paid less in taxes than one Walmart clerk. Okay, and that Walmart clerk may get some tax benefits, but they're still paying like $10,000 a year, $9,000 to $10,000 a year in taxes. And after they pay their state and federal taxes, you can't tell me they get all that money back. So that money is going towards our government, and that government is able to spend it any way they want to, and some of that is going towards these wars. And I think that that's just heart wrenching. And I just a lot of horrible things have happened to the Israeli people, hands down, horrible things. One of the things that was interesting to note is that there were more Jewish people living in Europe than there was actually in Israel. So they had left to go to Europe. And one of the arguments presented was that they were kicked out by the Romans, or they were pushed out by other countries. But at the same time, there were people that decided to stay. Okay, they also pushed out Palestinians. They also were trying to push out Ethiopians. They were also trying to put out black Jews and all those kind of things. But they chose to stay. So to a degree, I have to question if it was a choice for them to go there. But upon after the Holocaust and the horrible treatment that they received, their land was stolen, their homes were stolen, their property was stolen. All those horrible things had happened. And then, the UN and countries had gotten together and wanted to return them to Israel. But upon the return to Israel, the people that were there, the Palestinians, the blacks, the Jewish that were there, had nice land and had properties. But upon their return, they were pushed to the side, and they didn't have that anymore. I've always questioned that. So you leave a country and you return to it and you get the best land. That, to me, I always have some problems with that. I still can't quite understand that. Now, even if that is true, that they were pushed out or that kind of thing, I do believe that the Romans or whatever invading people that were pushing the Jewish people out of Israel or that kind of thing, they wouldn't just push out them. They don't go around and say, if you were in that particular community living with Jewish people or living around Jewish people or living in the area of Jewish people, they would just wipe you all out. It wouldn't be no salad picking, okay? You would go with them. So these the Arabs, the black Jews, and the Jewish people that say they chose to stay there. Okay, that was a choice for them to go to, and it is their choice to do, though. God bless them on that. But upon their return, how is it they got the best land? I don't understand that. And if you want to clarify that with me, and that's fine too. That's what this platform is for discussing. I know that it's probably going to get ugly. I'm going to stay as professional as I possibly can. If there is something that is put down there, I will reply to it, because it's too much to discuss. And this 12-minute or however long is not going to cover everything, or even everything that I've read about it as well. But there are compelling arguments to this. But I do know from my readings and from my teachings from the Bible, I read the Bible, I read the Quran, I read the Torah, I've read a couple of other things, a couple of other books as well, Buddhism and those kind of things. It's no other way around it but to share the land. Either share the land or it's going to be genocide. And I do not believe that every one of those people in Palestine is responsible for the Hamas. And to go in, from what I could see, they go home and work. They work and they go home. They're very poor people. I visited Palestine and I visited Israel. I visited many times both of those places. And I see most Palestinians going home, working and going home. That's the comments that I've seen and read, okay, well, they have to denounce the Hamas. Who knows who the Hamas is? That's equivalent to saying to me, you have to denounce and turn in all of the KKK. I don't know them. How is that possible? You asked me for something impossible to do, to rectify a situation, to rectify peace. You have to do this to show that could not possibly be done. And there's a lot of things to be said about it. So I'm really hoping that there is some more communication. I really am hoping for peace in Palestine and Israel, and Palestine. I'm sure it's going to be a comment that I hate Jewish people, that I hate Palestinian people. I do not hate either, but I do know that peace is the only way. So that is my take on the situation, and this is Growing Democrats signing off.